YouTube! Welcome back to another video. Continuing on with AIS Wallenstein. This is the showcase portion of this, where I take AIS and a team specifically dedicated to dealing with the 2 element bosses, and we're just going to see how she goes. Honestly, this is the team I'm going to use for both of them. Grand Calamari is kind of a dick. And Asmodeus is a little bit more finicky because of his wipe mechanic. But this team works for both. And you'll be able to kind of see how AIS does. She's not great. I'm not going to lie to you. She's not great. But, I mean, she does what she needs to do for the most part. She just could definitely do more, if that makes sense. But this is stage 13. Because of course I gotta make things harder on myself and show you guys on stage 13. Just because, you know, I think it just makes more sense to do things on stage 13. Just to show you guys that it is possible with these teams, doing it on the harder difficulty. At least that's my opinion on it. I also just kind of enjoy the challenge, and it also lets me catch up to where I need to be. So Grand Calamari is kind of a pain in the ass because of how he does things. He buffs himself up a bunch and then gives himself invulnerability and all this other fun stuff. It's really obnoxious. And so you can kind of take advantage of that with Gnosis Nella, because he can still get unbuffable, and unbuffable is very, very strong and very, very helpful. Makes it to where he can't get his buffs from his moves or anything. And then you can also still strip the buffs later with that. With Gnosis Nella's S3. But with Akari being able to reduce the cooldown on everything is really strong. So, obviously, you can kind of see AIS does do pretty decent damage. Nothing crazy, of course. Mainly because it's AIS. Her damage numbers just aren't great. Makes it kind of difficult to really show off anything. But, do I wait until... Yeah. I mean, look, she does 9k isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. 9k is not bad. It's just not there, you know? It's just not as much as it could be. You know, like, that's decent damage. Don't get me wrong. The problem is that when you're in the light subclass, when you're in the light class, you have a major problem because you have to figure out how in the world do you manage to out DPS Gnosis Beth? You know, like, how do you beat Gnosis Beth when she just gets to go like this and then do crazy stacks of eternal bleeding? You know, like 22k, that's a lot of damage, don't get me wrong. You know, 22k, that's a good amount of damage. You know, that's impressive. You know, that is still a decent amount of damage. And, like, look, this chain burst did 38k. But when I can just do this and do 213,000 with Gnosis Beth, and the damage graph looks like this, how do you beat Gnosis Beth? That's the problem. You have a boss slayer in Gnosis Beth already. And so trying to figure out how do you out DPS that, the only way that you can realistically out DPS that is if you run into a boss that's essentially immune to bleed or fixed damage. I'm going to take a little sip of my water here. Like I said before, I'm doing like a big mass recording, so this is a lot of recording that I'm doing all at once. And it's just because, you know, I'm trying to get a lot of stuff taken care of. There's a lot of content that I'm trying to get through. And because of my absence and then me being sick for a little bit, it definitely didn't make it easy. But, again, Gnosis Beth is really helpful here because she gives stealth on everybody. So she can basically make it to where you don't have to deal with a lot of this stuff. Of course, there's petrification over here on ice. Well, that sucks. That really blows because there goes the, like, few opportunities I have to show off her DPS. I forget how he does the petrify. I forget how he does the petrification. Ah, the Prelude of Darkness. It just is really unlucky, I think. Yeah. I think that was just... Yeah. I think that's just really unfortunate timing. You know, because then if he hits her again, he just gets to say, I don't care. And it really sucks because it also means that, yeah, see, she's not gonna self-cleanse anytime soon. I don't think. I don't think she has the ability to. If he just hits ice every time, it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ass.
You'll pay for this. I'll string you up nicely.
Yep, of course he is.
I promise you.
Of fucking course he is. That is really, really unlucky to the point that I might actually just lose this outright. Because I don't think I can... I don't think I can do enough to drop him into enraged state and then also break him. Because he's going to enrage state and then he's going to get a bunch of chain points back. Or a bunch of weakness gauge back. I don't think I have the ability to blow through it all. Like, don't get me wrong, it might be close. But because a lot of Gnosis Beth's buff stacks are from like chain attacks on other people to get more of those buffs. Good news is that we're not getting crit, which really makes this boss hard. Oh, someone died. Well, isn't this just a son of a bitch? I literally did this first try without any issue. And of course, now I'm going to have issues as soon as I hit record. Go figure. You know? Just, of course, go figure.
Target confirmed. One shot, sure kill.
There.
You'll pay for this. It's your turn now. Feel the pain I felt. Serve me. Kneel down.
Hopefully, this isn't so bad and we don't get fucking petrified again immediately. And have fucking problems later. What sucks is I think the petrified buff is actually like a really low chance of happening too. Which makes it even more annoying. Please don't petrify anybody. I'm like mortified of getting fucking petrified. Like, I'm low-key kind of terrified. Fuck. See, like, she does decent damage. The problem is that it's like, it's hard to make that damage work sometimes. I just need to burst one. I don't need to do anything else. And as soon as someone gets fucking petrified, you're just kind of screwed, you know?
It's your turn now. Feel the pain I felt. Can I sit this one out? Target confirmed. One shot, sure kill. I promise you glory for the sake of one. You'll pay for this. I'll string you up nicely.
Just trying to drop all those debuffs as much as I can, at least. Yeet. See, 21. 2100. But he's also in a state in which he takes less damage, so I'm not going to be too upset about that. Gonna break him with this, and I shouldn't have to worry about breaking him again. Because I should be able to just melt him the rest of the way with this. I believe. Don't quote me on that. I should be able to, though.
You may voice your opinion.
We'll refresh this.
Kneel down. You'll pay for this. It's your turn now. Feel the pain I felt.
Drop some more.
Mes amis.
See, look at that. 16,000. That's kind of impressive.
Is it my turn? Can we get serious now?
Don't get me wrong. That's kind of cool.
Small fry spotted. All clear, Skitty.
Look at that. Like, that's decent damage.
By my imperial command. Be gone.
I shouldn't have to break him again.
Staring.
I mean, look, like, when she does chain attacks, she does great. You know? I mean, she's at a little bit low. She's at, like, you know, she's missing some health. So that's definitely helping.
I've been waiting.
You know, but then that shit happens.
Hold it anymore. Your wish for the sweet release of death.
So, let me drop this.
I
Throw
promise
some more
you
stacks up
blood
there.
for the
Hit him
sake
with
of
this.
one. Is it my turn?
Hit him with the old
Beginning the hunt.
voltaic arrow storm. Hit him with the defense drop. You know, so far so good. No petrified. Ha 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 ha. Oh, he just died from bleed.
Yet.
Yeah.
There's more who must
I didn't even have to detonate it. He just died from bleed. In 27 turns still. And the damage graph looks like... Oh, excuse me. And the damage graph looks like that. 75,000. Not bad. But compared to 180,000, it's hard to justify bringing ice over Gnosis Beth. You know, because these dark bosses don't hit that hard. It's hard to justify, you know, bringing ice over someone like Gnosis Beth, who can just sit there and keep spamming those moves, and then the boss just dies, you know? It's hard to justify, is all I'm saying. You know? It's hard to say, obviously, ice is the best one to use for it, you know? When obviously fucking not. She gets blown up so fast. And even if she doesn't get blown up, it's hard for her to sit there and really get through the fight, you know? I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. I mean, she's good, don't get me wrong. I just don't think that she's that great. But with that, I'm going to leave this video here. You guys are more than welcome to make your own opinions. If you have an ice build that works even better, or like a team composition that works really good, please let me know. I'm more than willing to double check those and check those out. I'd love to see some teams that really make her shine if you guys have any. If not, that's totally fine. My opinion of her will probably never change. And with that, I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned something. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.